guys, KitKat627. I wanted to do tonight a tutorial as a request for a smoky eye in whatever color I wanted by bevsthename. So Bev, this one's for you. I'm going to be using a very old MAC quad. It's called the Pandamonium Eyes 4. So it's got 4 colors, the highlight color being a white gold, and it's called CLOUDBOUND. The lighter violet pink is called Up at Dawn. It's very shimmery violet pink. And then violet trance would be this very true purple right here. And then Pandamonium would be, it's more like a gray black, charcoal black with a little bit of sparkles in there. I don't know if you're able to see that, guys, so maybe I should flip up the top here. No reflection. So there's a little bit of sparkle. You can see the gold tint a little bit in that white, the shimmery violet purple, and the very true matte purple. Unfortunately doesn't yield that much color, or that much pigmentation. It's not very pigmented. And then the charcoal gray color called Pandamonium with the sparkles and flecks in it. I'm going to get started. As a base, I've already applied concealer to my entire eyelid. Gosh, I feel like there's ants all over me. Sorry. Ant infestation in this house. Summertime really sucks out here. Anyway, so I'm going to get started and try to do this as quickly as possible and keep it under 10 minutes. What I'm using on top of the base of the concealer as a base for the eyeshadow, mainly on the lid, I'm using a shade stick from MAC, and the color is CRIMSONAIRE. And it sounds like it comes out red, but it actually comes out in a really nice hot pink. And with shade sticks, if you have very sensitive eyes that are sensitive to pressure, these might not be your best friend because they are very waxy. You might actually have to run it across your eyelid in short dashes and actually put a little bit of pressure on the eye, which can be really irritating to some people. You might tear up, so be careful when you're using shade sticks. And I'm just applying it in short dashes, basically making like a half circle and stopping just under the crease. Just under the crease, and I'm making sure that the color's even and all the way down to my lash line, even in my tear duct. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and drag that sloppily over the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to take just a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take Up at Dawn, our violet pink. I'm going to take that and sweep that from the tear duct and blend it in about halfway, going over the line where we stopped with the shade stick. Just going in halfway. Well, hopefully the glare is not too bad where you guys can see it clearly. So stopping halfway, using the same brush, I'm going to dip in to, oh god, Violet Trance, that true purple. Like I said, it's matte, but it's not very solid. The color payoff is not all that great. So good thing I'm using it as kind of a transitional color, and I'm just swiping that on the very middle, the middle third. When you're working with a shade stick underneath eyeshadows, a lot of people have said that it's harder to spread around eyeshadows, they kind of stick. Got an itch in my nose, sorry. So keep that in mind. Blending is your best friend when using shade sticks. Now I'm going to take a smaller shadow brush. This thing's all out of whack. I need to definitely wash that and reform that. And I'm dipping it into Pandamonium, And I'm going to pat that on to the outer third of my eye. I'm going to start blending upwards, creating that outer V that we all desperately love so much. And blending it into our matte purple color. I'm going to use a contour angle brush, an angle shadow brush, and I'm just going to blend a little bit just on the outer parts here, so that it's not so harsh of a line, because that's not really what we want. And also, I'm going to try to blend a little bit, dip into this violet pink again, and I'm going to blend a little bit of the matte purple in the middle, just so there's no harsh line. I'm going to take a precision concealer brush. I use it as a brush for using eyeshadow as a liner. Any flat, dense brush is going to work. I just like to use this because it's a lot softer. I find that it doesn't poke me so much. I'm going to dip into the violet purple Up at Dawn, or violet pink color, sorry. And I'm going to go from the inner tear duct, from the tear duct all the way about halfway over on the lower lash line. Okay, wiping that off. Now I'm going to use our matte purple Violet Trance, and on the outer edge of the waterline, and bring it in halfway. And then of course on the outer third you're going to use Pandamonium. Just to give it that depth, and making sure to connect it. Taking that fluffy shadow brush, dip into your highlight color, and it is called CLOUDBOUND, and it is a white pinky gold. It comes out more gold actually, or maybe that's just my skin tone. Starting at the highest point. Okay, sorry, got cut off there. So where we left off was you were using CLOUDBOUND, our highlight color, and spreading it, starting at the highest point under your eyebrow using a fluffy eyeshadow brush. Go ahead and apply that and blend it down basically to just above the crease to meet the other eyeshadow colors that are on the lid. Using our precision concealer brush. Also, I did the highlight of the CLOUDBOUND in the inner tear duct. Make sure that you blend a little bit onto the lid as well, just so that all the colors have like a nice smooth transition, no lines of demarcation, and not just a white dot there in the center. I also started to use my MAC Black Track Fluidline eyeliner, and I've already applied from the lash line here all the way out and exaggerating it into a nice long cat eye. I'm going to go ahead and line my lower lash line with the Black Track Fluidline, starting in the outer corner and going all the way in. Last step, of course, never forget this, is mascara. And I use Maybelline's Define-A-Lash Volume Mascara. Don't forget the bottom lashes. And that's it. Our Pandamonium Eyes Smoky Eye for you, Bev. Bev's the name requested this look. Ciao, ciao.